Hola, amiguitos. It's September 11th, a day that will forever be etched in our memories. My heart is with the families of those who are lost, the undocumented workers, the first responders, the people who were just going to work and were met with their final day. If you are new to Las Noticias, welcome. These are the stories I believe have not received enough airtime but deserve our attention because they affect our community. So let's get to it. Number one, and this one comes with a warning, as it is a very tragic story that is still unfolding. Lesly Palacios was a 22-year-old Latina from Las Vegas. On August 29th, she was last seen with a supposed family friend at the Longhorn Casino and Hotel. Her body was recovered more than a week later on September 9th. Eric Rangel Ibarra has been named the primary suspect in her disappearance and death. Lesly's story is so tragic on multiple levels. First, she was meeting up with Rangel, who was a family friend. Video footage shows them eating at a restaurant and leaving together. What transpired after they left the casino is still a mystery. But what it highlights is just how at risk women are every single day. How our bodies and lives are in constant threat. There's a lot of speculation on social media that I don't want to get into out of respect for Lesly's memory and her family. But second, why did the national media not pick up the story? Why wasn't there a massive search for her after she went missing? I wish I had learned about her disappearance sooner. I can't help but feel that if it had received more attention, she might have been found alive. The vehicle that Rangel and his father were last seen in was recovered in California. Lesly family needs our help to hold the people responsible accountable. Here is what we can do. Number one, share Lesly's story. Number two, call the Las Vegas Police Department if you have any information. They are still searching for the men who are responsible for Lesly's death. Number two, the Washington Post reported that ICE transferred immigrants from jail cells in Arizona and Florida to Virginia so that agents could be transported to Trump's photo op after the Black Lives Matter protest in D.C. ICE has internal rules that prevent agents from flying in charter planes unless they are accompanying detainees. So, in order to make use of ICE agents to squash protests, the Trump administration put immigrants at risk by exposing them unnecessarily to COVID-19. After the transfers, more than 300 immigrants became infected, and one of them died as a result. The abuse of power by this administration never ceases to amaze me. The way they view our lives as meaningless infuriates me to no end. To use immigrant lives to then use that same deadly weapon on Black Lives Matter protesters is a different type of evil. But this is why we must recognize that everything this administration does is at the expense and with the intention of hurting Black and brown people. So what can we do? Vote, vote, vote. Register to vote. Get your friends registered. I'm not suggesting that with a different president, all of this will finally stop. But I do very much believe that we'll be at a different starting point where we can continue to advocate with our community. Number three, by now you have seen the viral images of the fires in California, and perhaps you've seen this picture of farm workers still working under the ashes of the fires. However, you may not have seen this political report, Harvest of Shame, that highlights just how heavily the wrath of COVID has fallen on farm workers. It's estimated that nearly 7,000 farm workers have tested positive. These estimates are likely to underreport the number of cases because testing is so limited, and because of deportation fears, many workers do not want to be tested. Andy Slavitt, a former Obama healthcare official, said it best. If you don't know many people who have COVID, it's because you don't know the people who pick the food you eat. And I would add the people who pick the grapes for the wine we drink. Farm workers don't have the option to take a sick day. They don't get paid if they don't work. Those who are here on temporary visas risk losing their permits if they don't work. The undocumented worker doesn't have the right to even report worksite violations because they have little recourse. So, what can we do? The federal government has clearly shown that they are incapable of doing anything. Most of these workers, though, are in California, Arizona, and New Mexico. And we can lobby the governors in these states to provide protective gear to workers, to make testing more accessible, where they don't have to give out their personal information to get tested. And two, we can wear masks, we can stay at home, we can social distance and slow the spread. We can also register to vote, get our friends registered to vote so that we can have a different administration that we can push to have more progressive policies for our people. Lastly, I hope that you saw my last video explaining why I wanted to do this series called La Historia Uncovered. I have learned so much from these authors and from these books that I want to share all of that knowledge with you. Knowledge that has really grounded me in knowing that we belong in this land, that we have a claim in this land, that we belong here yesterday, today, and always. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you will help me spread the word. Share this video with someone you know, and leave a comment to let me know what you think. Let me know about other stories that I should be highlighting. Let's go be each other's megaphones.